Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user writing fanfiction. Am I the a-hole for threatening legal action against my mom, brother and future sister-in-law for stealing the only inheritance I have from my grandmother? I've been receiving messages non-stop from my maternal family and my siblings, and it has me second-guessing if what I'm doing is going too far. This past Christmas, I saw on social media that my brother proposed to my future sister-in-law, who we'll call Amy. I was initially happy for them until I saw the ring, which Amy posted photos of. I immediately recognized it as my grandmother's engagement ring and phoned my mom to ask if she had given my brother the ring as a placeholder. She brushed me off, saying that no, she gave him the ring on purpose because I hate Christmas and Amy loves it. Context: I had always been closer to my paternal side of the family, especially my grandma. My grandmother passed away last year, and the only inheritance I got is her engagement ring. I was not meant to receive this ring until I'm 30. My grandmother loved Christmas, and it showed in her engagement ring. It's an emerald-cut diamond with tiny circle rubies and oval emeralds to look like holly. Also, I didn't always hate Christmas. 2 years back, I lost my boyfriend of 10 years, my childhood BFF, and my sorority sister in a car accident coming from a Christmas party that we all attended. I have been in therapy, struggling with survivor's guilt, but I'm doing better now. I told my mom that the ring technically was meant to be mine and that she couldn't take it. She told me that she had a box of my grandmother's jewelry and I could just pick something else. I was stewing for a few days before contacting my paternal uncle, who is the executor. He was furious and told me that my mom had said she was going to give me the ring as a Christmas gift. He then said he could be in touch with a lawyer if I wanted to press charges. We talked for a bit more before hanging up. Armed with this information, I texted my mom, brother, and future sister-in-law, saying that I had been in touch with my uncle and that I would press charges if the ring was not returned to either me or my uncle. My brother tried to say he really wanted to use the ring, that since I hated Christmas, that I didn't deserve it. I let them text me, using their threats as future evidence. I told them they had a month to return the ring or I'd follow through with the police. Now, my mother's side of the family as well as my other siblings are hounding me. They all think I'm blowing things up. I'm not. I know I'm not. But with how everybody is acting, I feel like I'm going crazy. So, am I the a-hole for threatening legal action against my mom, brother, and sister-in-law for stealing my only inheritance? No, OP, of course you're not the a-hole. That ring was meant for you. Your grandma wanted you to have it. Apparently that's what she left in the will, as your uncle, the executor, had said. Your mom's and your brother's argument that you don't deserve the ring because you hate Christmas, that is absolutely irrelevant. And the fact that he really wants it is also just as irrelevant. You've told them what would happen if they didn't give you the ring back. So if they don't, follow through. Not the a-hole. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Raymond Beaumont says, quote, "Hi, I'm surprised to hear that you think people should be okay when others steal their valuables. Does that mean I can come by your house and steal your stuff and you will be fine with it? Or are you only okay with stealing if it's done to someone else? Just send this to anyone hounding you." Samijo311 says, "If I was sister-in-law, I would be absolutely mortified and immediately return the ring and seriously reconsider what the F my fiance was thinking. Not the a-hole and absolutely sue. This is so unconscionable, and because you don't like Christmas is masterpiece of gaslighting. I mean, if anything, it would make the ring even more important to you as it is the one beautiful thing that can give you an utterly devastating trauma some hope. At a minimum, your mom not even asking you is a-hole territory, but this almost amounts to no contact, and I always think people exaggerate that need, but wow." Kitson says, "Not the a-hole. That is your ring and your mother and brother stole it. Your mother lied to the executor of the will to get possession of it, so she clearly knew what she was doing was wrong. You have every right to take legal action to get it back." And Dale Alice says, not the a-hole. Your mom knew it's wrong, and the fact that you don't like Christmas is completely irrelevant in their arguments. You don't deserve anything because you hate Christmas? Terrible logic. You don't deserve your own inheritance because you don't like Christmas? Flimsiest logic ever. Your mom lying and saying it was supposed to be a gift to you sealed the deal. Your mom and bro were shady, and uncle should put them on blast. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and that she should carry on with taking them to court. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Hey y'all, before we get into the update, there are a few points I want to make clear that have been brought up from my last post. First, my mom and paternal grandmother were on good terms before her passing. They weren't besties by any means, but they were kind to each other, hence why my mother got a box of her jewelry, which mostly consists of brooches but does offer a few of her better pieces like her locket and a charm bracelet. Second, my father passed of a heart condition the year I graduated middle school, which is why he's not dealing with my mom. Since his death, my paternal family has really tried to bridge the gap he left, hence why I'm so close with them. And finally, yes, I understand my username may lead to the conclusion that this is fake, but I do write fanfiction. This is just a second account since all my siblings know my main. But maybe I'll start posting stories in the stories subreddit and use this as my writing account. Who knows? Lol. Now, time for the update. The day after I posted, Amy, future sister-in-law, texted me privately and asked me to meet up with her in secret. We organized a meeting for the next day at one of the local diners to grab lunch and talk. Meeting her was weird since I didn't know how she would gauge the situation. Amy has never been mean-spirited, just blunt. Not the rude kind of blunt either. She's just a woman of a few words kind of deal. A few of the comments said she was the a-hole for accepting it, but the fact is she hasn't been in the family long enough to know about my connection to the ring. She had only met my grandmother once or twice before my grandmother got sick. Once we sat down, she told me to tell her about my grandmother, which I initially thought was weird, but I got to telling her some childhood stories about my grandmother. How I would help her pick tomatoes from the garden to make fresh sauce, how we'd used to go on her porch and just watch the sunset, how during Christmas Mass she always held my hand walking up and down the large steps, since the crowds would often lead to me being separated. Long story short, Amy seemed reminiscent about the situation before she immediately apologized. She hadn't known about the ring, just that it was a family ring and that it meant she was one of us now. When she had seen the text, she confronted my brother, who brushed it off as, OP is just being dramatic. It's not like it's the only piece she has. Which is true, I actually do have my grandmother's pearl earrings and her pearl necklace, but that was a sweet 16 gift, not inheritance. That got Amy mad and she went to stay with her family. She apparently had been in my shoes before, having been gypped by her older relatives regarding her own grandmother's inheritance. She returned the ring and said she plans to break off the engagement. I told her to really think about that. She then smiled and said that she couldn't be part of a family who was so backhanded and cruel. We talked for a bit more and left on good terms. My brother really dropped the ball. She was a good one. Then, yesterday, my mom called me and told me I had gone too far and now Amy doesn't want to be a part of the family. I asked her what she expected when Amy was a good-hearted person who probably wouldn't want to marry into a family of liars and thieves. She said my brother was distraught when he came home and found she had left with her things. I told her maybe if they didn't try to take my ring, then maybe Amy wouldn't look at them like they were bad people and maybe she'd still want to marry my brother. My mom called me a slew of names before hanging up. I asked my uncle that now that I have the ring, could I just keep it? My uncle said that was fine, since he knew I had a safe that I could keep it in. It's a fancy fingerprint one where I keep my registered firearm and legal documents. He just made sure to document me receiving the ring so that this way he didn't go nutty trying to find it for my 30th birthday. I now wear it on my middle finger since it's a little too big for my ring finger. I then went on a date with my we've been dating 9 to 10 months, partner this morning, and they loved it. I plan to post a photo of us tonight or tomorrow, see how much I can stir the pot. Thanks to all who supported me. I knew I wasn't crazy. I've been the least favorite kid for years, and I've just gotten used to having to share or give up things. But my grandmother's ring was my hill to die on, and depending on how their behavior is, I may go no contact. I'm currently low contact due to this drama. Well, OP, it sounds like the update was only good things. You got your ring back and Amy dodged a bullet. Regarding your mom and your brother, who cares? Thanks for sharing, OP. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's by user UsiMouse. My 21 male partner, 21 female of 4 years, known each other since kindergarten, wants to take a break from each other during winter trip. Her ex, 22 male, is involved. How do I talk to her about this? My partner and I have been dating since senior year of high school, which has been 4 years. However, we have known each other since kindergarten and have been very close friends for years. We have always liked each other, but as the years passed, it was harder to pull the trigger on the relationship in case it failed. During 5th grade, her family decided to move to Mexico and she had to study there until she returned back to the States around 7th grade. However, when she came back, she announced she had a boyfriend in Mexico. She explained to me this boyfriend was really toxic and it wasn't going to work out anyways because of long distance. They broke up in 9th grade, and around senior year, we decided to pull the trigger and start dating. We graduated and even go to the same college together. It's been 4 years together and there haven't been any signs of breaking up. We talk a lot about our future and eventually starting a family. However, in December, her mom and my partner decided to go back to Mexico to visit some family. It wasn't until the 30th of December she started talking about taking a break from each other out of nowhere. She reasoned that she wanted more time for herself, and that was that. She decided we would talk about it when she came back into the States. However, she also told me about visiting her ex's family soon since her mom is close with them. I didn't think much of it until she started slowly getting more distant from me. She wasn't replying consistently and not saying good morning. On the 4th of January, I was scrolling through Instagram and her ex was on my recommended friends. I clicked on his story and what I saw was a picture of them really close with a love song playing. I completely felt blindsided and shocked. It wasn't in her character to do something like this. So I texted her and she said she would like to talk to me when she's back. I still love her, but I feel like it might be over. Would she really get back with a toxic long-distance ex that fast and throw away years of a relationship? I'm super confused and just need some advice on how to talk to her about it when she's back. I'm just trying to prepare for the worst, but I hope that isn't the case. I still love her, but I could only get the answers when she's back. Would appreciate the advice. Thanks. Well, OP, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't wait till she gets back. I wouldn't want to talk to her anyways. She's definitely back with that dude and she's having her holiday getaway while you silently wait at home for her. F that. She wants to have her fun, let her have it and then let her keep it. You should be done with her. Dodge her like Neo dodges bullets. Cause honestly, OP, what really is there to talk about? What are you gonna ask her? What do you expect to get from that conversation? You will get nothing except getting gaslit, so just work on moving on. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. Prudent Cook 7794 says, quote, would she really get back with a toxic long-distance ex that fast and throw away years of a relationship? End quote. She did, bro. Imagine if your friend, brother, or son laid this story out to you. Hand Banana's Revenge says, either you're going to be getting the breakup speech or the we messed around a bit but it meant nothing to me and I feel bad about it speech. Hint, they never feel bad about it. Regardless, this is all related to her being around the ex. Consider your relationship over and be grateful she showed you who she really is. Don't let this person waste a second more of your time. And Potent Technicality says, she's either going to break up with you or she's going to tell you about her horrible mistake that confirmed how much she loves you, which is BS. what you do is simply get ahead of the game. Tell your mutual friends that she's apparently decided to cheat. Send them the pictures. If you're close to her family, wish them well and tell them that you can't accept being treated this way. Then you block her everywhere. If you have some of her stuff, leave it with a mutual friend. Don't take her calls. Let her come back to you having burned every bridge for her. You're gonna be sad for a long while, but you will find someone who respects you enough not to do this crap. And OP responds, "Thanks, I'm already telling my mutual friends about it and we're cutting her off. The amount of support I got from them was overwhelming and they realized how much of a snake she was." Alright, well, the community agrees that OP should just cut his losses and try to move on, which apparently is something he's doing. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Yesterday, I texted my now ex-girlfriend that I was going to drop off her stuff in the morning. Keep in mind that I haven't spoken or said anything to her after finding out through Instagram that she was hanging out with her middle school ex-boyfriend from Mexico. They originally broke up because of long distance and that he was manipulative. I've known this person for 16 years and we started dating senior year of high school, 4 years. We had plans of marriage in 2025 as well and made me put a promise ring on her finger before she left. As I said in the original post that we had no signs of wanting to break up, so our relationship ended out of nowhere. She gave me little to no explanation, but saying just wanting to take a break. We did have some discussion of wanting to stay together and working things out over text, but that didn't work out obviously once I found out about her ex. So, as I was dropping off her stuff, she told me that she actually got engaged to her ex days after breaking up. I was in complete shock because it was completely out of her character to do something like that. I understand wanting to rebound, but to get engaged to an ex in another country is completely crazy. I told her how crazy that was and she took that to heart. Everyone seemingly agreed that she was crazy after I told them this. She kicked me out and then called the cops on me. The cops had to check me for weapons because she thought I was going to hurt myself or her family. The cops also told me that she wanted to get a restraining order. I told them about the situation and even they laughed at how stupid she was. Her sister and family also reached out to apologize to me. She has also continued to block most of our mutual friends on her social media after we split up. I feel upset still that she threw away our 16 years for an ex, but also relieved that I felt like I dodged a bullet. She is crazy and I don't think they will last long either unless she plans to move over there or he moves here. If she were to crawl back, I would simply say no. This was also my first relationship, so now I have insane trust issues. I wish it wasn't real. I just need advice on how to get over this since it's my first relationship. Thanks. Well, OP, the important part is that you did dodge a bullet. Now, regarding your trust issues, I would say if you think you need professional help, go that way. If not, and if I was in your shoes, I would just really get into a hobby or doing sports or something to take my mind off of it, and in time, you will get over her. So here's wishing you the best, OP. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Desdichado, US Navy Malicious Compliance. So this comes from a former co-worker who worked in the catapult shop on a US Navy supercarrier. New man is assigned to the shop given typical runaround hazing. Eventually is told to go retrieve a portable pad-eye. For those who don't know, a pad-eye is what you change down aircraft to so they don't blow off the deck when the carrier is steaming at 30 plus knots into a 40 knot gale. They are not portable in any sense except that of a moving 10,000 plus ton vessel. So new guy disappears for 4 days. They are getting worried and seriously thinking about reporting him AWOL. Hard to do underway, but it's a floating city. When he comes strolling in with 4 machinist mates having simultaneous aneurysms from carrying his creation. You see, he had in fact created a portable pad-eye. He had gone down to the machine shop and had them look up the regulations and spec and fabricated one out of stores. It was so heavy that just carrying it was bending the bar stock they welded on for handles. Needless to say, that was the end of the fetch quests. Well, I have to say, that is impressive. They gave him an impossible mission, and he made it happen. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.